It's the Logan Power Show. Inspirational and motivational. It's the Logan Power Show. Informational to help you grow. Logan Power Show. And now the host, Calvin Logan.
Hey everybody, this is me, your host, Calvin Logan with the Logan Power Show. Nationwide, worldwide. I told y'all I'm on my vacation. I'm enjoying myself, but it's not a time for me to give insight, wisdom, understanding of what needs to be done. I got me a plethora of people that's going to shock your mind of what they do, but they started something different. We're going to figure out what's going on. They call themselves the QC Silverfox Squad Gentlemen. The QC Silverfox Squad Gentlemen. All right, so I want you to figure out, we're going to figure out what that is. We're going to go down the order. First, I'm going to bring up first for you. His name is Mr. T.I. Riley. He is, again, assistant manager at a huge chain store that also owns a cleaning company. So he's an entrepreneur. Plus, he knows how to make that money flip and do it forward. And he's smooth, because this guy got the smoothest hat I have seen in a while. The one and only Mr. Riley. What's going on, sir?
How you doing today, sir? Thank you for having us.
Oh, thank you for being on the show. Hit the Logan Power Show. Just let you get yourself. I know I give a little accolades, give you your flowers. But I'm going to let you get 3 to 5 minutes to tell us about who you are, what you do, and a little bit about yourself, how you got started in the cleaning business and what you're doing right now. The floor is yours.
Well, actually about me, it's simple with me. I moved to Charlotte in 2008, born and raised in Rochester, New York. Came down for change. And it actually happened when I got here. All the doors opened up. And that's when I started my cleaning business, which started out with 6 buildings, and I have 10 now. As far as me, I have 2 grandchildren, 1 son, love them all to death. And I think that's what changed me from growing into who I am today. The reason why I'm glad to be a part of the QC Silverfox is because I like to mentor. I love spreading joy to the kids, showing them that there's change in life. If you really want it, you have to work for it. Letting them know that every day you wake up, you have the choice to make. It's on you.
Absolutely. I think that you just gave a lot of insight. Looking sharp too now. Like I said,
appreciate it. Thank you.
Everybody else, but you got to look sharp in this game, because you can't be calling yourself squad of this QC Silverfox squad and ain't looking sharp. Because like I said, all these gentlemen are sharp now, but this one right
yes,
here,
sir. Yes, they are.
Boy, he's sharp as the tack.
Thank you.
All right. So I thank you again for doing so. And now we're going to bring up this gentleman here. His name is Mr. Ramel Rich, owner and operator of Running Man Esquire, co-owner of the U-Turn Provisional Patent. The one and only Mr. Rich. What's going on, sir?
Hey, great. Thank you for having us, and thank you again. Appreciate this. This means a lot. You hear me? I know I'm supposed to have my hat and do right, but hey, I'm comfortable. I'm in a good place in life. And I guess when you get where we at today, this is what we're supposed to say. We're in a comfortable place in life.
Absolutely.
We're serving a purpose. We're serving a great purpose. And like Brother Riley said, hey, you know what? We are motivational mentor models. That's what we are. We serve a purpose. We kind of want to inspire others like us to just love themselves a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about your age; it's about where you at in life. You know, I come from New York, from Brooklyn. You know, I've was signed as a recording artist with Ice-T. Turned around and started making clothes for Sylvia Rome as a tailor. Then wind up going in the film business with my brother Matty Rich, and straight out of Brooklyn and Inkwell. Then I turned around, wound up coming out here in Charlotte, North Carolina to start things over as an entrepreneur, to start serving health products, which I turned to be the infamous running man. So I'm a man of many trades, and I'm very thankful as a promoter, because I was one of the promoters that actually I was one of the first promoters to bring live entertainers with Jermaine Dupri and everybody in the Freaknik in Atlanta, Georgia. And my record goes on and on from there, so I'm honored to be a part of the QC Silverfox, to join a great group of great men, that serve a great purpose for a lot of great things that we do in our lives. And yes, I'm a parent of two. I have 4 grands. Oh my gosh! I mean, I got my grandson. Let me tell you something. He mentally, he feel he is a football player, and he is amazing. And I'm supportive, like everyone else. When you have that vision, I always say, go for it, because that's your goals. That what helps growth. That helps make who you are, And here we are, QC Silverfox, which I understand right now, we got 800,000 impressions right now. And that's, to me, I'm like, wow, that's pretty heavy for a bunch of, good-looking brothers, getting our flowers. That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
That's Ramel Rich.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Mr. Rich, giving your soliloquy of what you have done. How you the problem that started all this stuff in the South. That's the reason why you the problem. Why all the time that you the reason why they doing a doggone documentary, because you the one that caused all this issue. See, that's why they closed it all down in Atlanta. See, right now, Mr. Rich is the reason why we got all issues. Ain't no more Freaknik no more. Because Mr. Rich is the reason why they shut the whole thing down. Stop it. Like it's free. So listen, right now, for all y'all, don't ask Mr. Rich to bring that back. Don't bring that spirit back. That spirit got people in trouble. And when that doctor come out, don't talk about that's your parent out there. So that's your parent, that's your mama, your daddy, sister, auntie, out there blaming Mr. Rich. Don't look at
Hey, Calvin, let me intervene real quick. But also, you got to give me some credit for bringing Snoop Dogg, Lady Rage, and Jodeci together in Miami Arena.
And listen, I'm gonna give you. I said I'll give you all your flowers. See, I'm talking about the documentary. Documentary is probably get people in trouble. As I said,
yeah, I know.
Back then wasn't all like you didn't have social media. If social media was during that time, boy, we've been in trouble all day long. So
you ain't lying.
So like I said, that's why I said, I tell people I've been delivered, and I'm so glad I wasn't living in that part of town. Thank you, Jesus. I appreciate it.
Amen.
Amen. All right, the next gentleman up that's going to come up to us, he's in medical sales. So you already know what time it is. He's going to tell us what needs to go. He's the one and only Mr. Colin Burchett. What's going on, Mr. Colin?
First, good morning, Cal. Thank you for having us, and it's just an honor to be here, be part of this team. I'm still not sure why I'm here, but I'll tell you my story. I've been in Charlotte since '96. I also moved from Long Island, so you got another New Yorker on the line as well. We found a better way down here, right? So I've been in the area, the Lake Norman area, for a while, and my main focus, in addition to the mentoring, is really just men's health and wellness. Unfortunately, over the last couple of years, due to COVID and a lot of other things, I lost about a dozen friends, guy friends. And so for me, I'm an only son of an only son. So I don't have any real brothers, but I call all my guy friends brothers. I actually got a bro shirt that I wear on a regular basis. So any opportunity to get together with other men that want to just have a brotherhood and friendship, that's really what I'm looking at it, and help guys work on their own issues, right? We all got stuff in our lives, and for me, it's all about helping each other out and being that phone call or that shoulder, or let's go grab a beer kind of guy, and just help each other, because I think we're all raised, everything's fine, don't you worry, I got this, and most of the time we do. But sometimes you just need an opportunity to chat with somebody that may be able to just listen. So for me, I'm just grateful to be part of this team. Certainly fashion and style. I'm not nearly as cool as these guys when it comes to that stuff, but I'm learning. So it was all about the beard for me. Everything else I could fix. This is all I could bring to the table. So I'm just grateful to be part of it.
Colin is something else. Did you guys see him on stage? This guy be doing this on a regular.
Well, I tell you what, you're looking. We call like, my wife had a conversation. We said, do you want to be old money or new money? She always say old money. And I had to think about it. I said, yeah, you want to be old money because old money is the generational thing. New money can be taken away. So old money's there. So definitely we're going to piggyback your brain and get some more information from you. So I thank you again. And we're going to dive deep. And we thank you for sharing part of your way in getting to where you are. So let's do this here. Moving down our road. I tell y'all, we having some fun at the Logan Power Show. This man here, got to give it to you. This man, they call him Mr. Cliff, owner and operator of SupamanCliff.com. He's retired, certified country in the United States Air Force. So without further ado, Mr. Cliff, how you doing, sir?
All right. How are y'all this morning?
Fantastic. Tell us about yourself. How many years are you in the military, and tell us about your business.
Well, I was in the Air Force for 9 years. I served 7 of those overseas. So I was a Vietnam era vet. And after I got out, I worked in the school system and also in Avant Health for 20 years as a network computer operator. So I've done a lot and seen a lot, but always trying to do something in the community itself and bring about awareness for especially Black entrepreneurs that we need to support us in our own communities first before we go out to do everything for everyone else. And as far as Supaman, I started this about 9 years ago. It's a meal supplement for men. And as I always tell somebody, I said, I'm out here trying to save families. That's what I do, because if it's not working, the family's not working. And the point is, I'm so glad to be part of this because it showcases Black men doing good things, and that's what we need to see.
Amen. So
hey, Calvin, can I just intervene 1 minute? You got to see Supaman. You got to see Brother Cliff when he come out. He got his own song, man. He got his own song, bro.
All right. So you got our own song. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I had a jingle for my show that we do every Thursday nights. But it's also something, for other businesses to come out and express what they do. But as I say, male supplements is something different because, a brother is never going to tell you the truth. He'll tell you everything else, but he ain't going to tell you that.
Ain't that something? So
as I say, I'm out here trying to help, and especially being part of the QC, it works out for me because, as I said, it showcases us in a different light, especially in our communities, and let them know that, hey, it's not all about dressing. It's about what you do with your life besides getting dressed and showing out. It's about what you participate in your own communities with.
Amen to that.
Definitely.
So we're going, I know you got your own little jingle. Nothing wrong with that. Got your jingle coming in, so it lets people know he's coming through. He's coming through. Like, back in the day, you had the thing with the ice cream. The ice cream truck was coming, so he had a little jingle coming, letting you know he's coming. So Mr. let you know when I'm coming through. I'm coming through with a jingle. I'm gonna let you know, hey, I'm here. So that's the man. Right
yes. I'm out here saving families. That's what I'm out here doing.
Amen. All right. Continuing on and flowing. I got with me a man. He is retired from the United States Army. I ain't hating. I love all my military brothers and sisters, but I know my preference because I'm a veteran myself. Did my time in the Marine Corps, my 8 years, and my 5 years in the Air Force. But I said, I definitely love all my brothers and sisters in the fight. So without further ado, retired, still looking sharp as ever, Mr. Carlos Brooks. What's going on, Mr. Brooks?
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing great. Let's talk about yourself.
Right.
How long was you in the military? Tell a bit about what you bring to the table.
Right. I'm Carlos, ex-military, 10 years, 8 of those, 101st Airborne. I'm just, very happy and pleased to be a part of the QC as well, QC Silverfox with these gentlemen. I'm one of the younger, statesmen, I think, in this group, but, I'm ready to obtain a lot more knowledge from these more seasoned guys. So I'm just happy to be here, man. Down for the ride.
Most senior guys.
I got you. I got you. Nothing wrong with that. Like I say, he's
He
calling.
just said we're old again too. Everyone's calling us old. What's happening?
Nobody want to be called most senior.
No, seasoned.
Oh, seasoned. Okay, I thought he said senior.
Yeah.
Put some spices.
No, never disrespect.
Now put some spices in there, make you live long. See, seasoned. Put something on that.
That's right.
Make it feel good.
That's right.
Get prolonged. Get that aroma smell. So I got it. Nothing wrong with that. So Mr. Brooks,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Appreciate you what you're saying to us. And we look at now. Last but not least, this man right here has his own barbershop doing his thing. He's the one and only Mr. Craig. What's going on, Mr. Craig?
What's going on, man? How you guys doing?
Tell us about yourself, about what you do, about your business, and what you bring to the table.
Oh man, I'm just a small country boy, man. I feel privileged to be amongst such great men. A lot of military background in this group. I'm a firm believer that God knows what you need and when you need it. Just been around a lot of these guys, discipline, man. I've met them a few times. A great group of guys. For me, I think I'm the baby of the group. I'm 43 years old, man. I'm a father of two. I have a 15-year-old and a 1-year-old actually. Big. So that's coming from, man. On the barbershop here in Rock Hill, man. Been licensed barber 15 going on 16 years, man. Just looking to be a part of mentorship. I mentor to guys every day, man. You come across so many people daily behind this chair. I just love what I do, man, and it's a privilege to be a part of such a great group of guys.
Man, amen. Well, you're a little different because the barbershop got that barbershop conversations. Like I said,
Yeah.
We got to talk about how my Lakers gonna win tonight, so we can get on moving on to the plane.
I'm with you on that.
That's it. And you got to talk about that. You see, you didn't mention. See, my daughter 15, my son 1. See, what happened was you listened to the wrong song.
Or the right song, however you want to look at it.
It's the right song.
Right.
Your the beard game. This is what happened was the 1-year-old took all the melon out and took everything. That's what it was. See, that's what a grade came.
Yeah.
Man.
For those who are listening right now, listen. As fathers, I got a little gaps myself, 16, 13, and 9. So you got to figure out as us as men, there's a time in our lives where things do change.
Absolutely.
We joke, we laugh, we say, well, Lord, if I'm this age and that my youngest one is 1, that means, Lord, you got to turn me back to when I was 21.
Okay.
So I can get through. That's all it is. Because we, like I said, we say, oh man, he's young. That's all it is. That's it. All right, gentlemen. So again, the QC Silverfox, right? We want to talk about, for instance, the QC Silverfox. Gentlemen, what's the purpose? Because you always hear about mentor groups, about males doing X, Y, and Z. You hear it all the time. You talk about, for instance, that people of color doing something, people who look like this, is the demographics that they're going to say, okay, these are the guys leading the forefront. They're very successful. It's not like, that someone is holding a spoon. They got put in play. Where can people go and say, hey, I'm watching this. I want to put my son to get involved. What's the process look like? Who wants to go first? What's the process look like?
Well, if it's okay if I could chime in, it's about taking the kids back to the basics. When we used to play, and we learned to appreciate each other as we play, and when we also respect our elders, and when we also listen to our neighbors. It was like a village, you know, and that to me meant a lot. So when I hear about the QC Silverfox, it's not just because we of men of looking of with the look of the parents of the silver, but it's just the maturity of also about the upbringing, and then also how we can also give something back, you know what I'm saying, to the young ones that look at us, and they with the respect, because, you know, I mean, I don't got nobody calling me out like, hey, yo old. Now they call, if they call you Unc, or they call you OG now, you know. So it's out of respect. And now, and with that saying, it gives me an opportunity, so I can also just, you know, have this conversation, and this conversation helps. You know, I'm one that goes in a lot of barbershop. That's why I'm running. And when I talk to people, it's not about looking at me or down, you know, just down looking at me as an older man. It's looking at me with the respect.
Your mute went on, Ramel. There you
Go ahead. You're still talking, sir. You said out of respect. Finish that last
That's
part.
fine. That was it. Yeah, that was it. You know, because I can.
got it. Since you have a business, and I just want to elaborate, the Running Man Esquire, and also the co-owner of U-Turn Provisional Patty. The Running Man Esquire, is that more of like a place for clothing for the young man? A clothing store?
No, it's not. No. Running Man comes from what was a nickname because I've been traveling I travel all over from Tuesday to Saturdays. I'm like the voice in the barber shops. I go in, I do my presentations with health products, and I carry that attitude with my products, my inventory. And everybody plays from North Carolina, South Carolina, Baltimore, Florida, New York City. I travel. So I just picked up a name called Running Man, because you would say, wow, you all over the place. So I adopted and I brace it and I own it.
Got it. And with the kind of products that you offer, what do you offer for people that come in health products? What should people, when they come to you, what are they looking to get?
Oh my gosh. You know what's pretty big, which I always tell everyone, if you ever heard or learned about Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi was a genius. He had a cure for all disease. It's sad that he had been taken, you know, he had to leave us so soon before he was able to continue his work. But he had used supplements like black seed oil, which I have also gotten and learned more about. Black seed oil that protects your immune system, protects you from cold symptom virus, lowers your blood pressure. It helps you with so much. So when I give this kind of information, you know, hey, this is important. When you talk about shea butter is much better than Vaseline, better than this kind of information, this stuff that's needed. When you learn about health with natural herb soaps, that's not in our local stores. Why? I can't explain it, but you can get it from Running Man. This is the kind of stuff. Not only do I have the inventory, but I have the information that helps people. And with that, that's what makes Running Man to be successful at what I do. Now, when it comes to my U-turn, well, I'm very thankful. I own a patent. I own a patent for a U-turn signal device. We all know about this. I mean, we all go in our cars, we make left turns, we make right turns, right? We come to a situation where you put the hazard lights on. But there was one thing I noticed that was missing in our vehicle, and it was the U-turn, right? And U-turn, I learned through my studies, over 35,000 people have car accidents yearly. And you say, wow, you know, they're trying to pass that light, make that light from turning yellow to red, but then they think they're making a left turn and bang, they're making a U-turn. Well, you know, I'm not going to tell my age, but I'm telling my age, because I remember back in the days when Radio Shack in New York used to sell the brake light, and they used to put it, you know, used to go the brake light that wasn't in the cars. You used to have to go and buy the brake light and put it in the back of your window. It was like an antenna. And when I put my noodles together one-on-one, I was like, we need a U-turn in our cars. So I created the U-turn signal device, and I'm moving forward with it. Yeah.
All right. Absolutely. Well, definitely it's definitely good to see that you got some great ideas and making some great things happen. Now, gentlemen, you say you have insight given to the young people. Now, when do the young people take you serious? Because you always hear a lot of young people say, well, you know, I hear you, but I really don't hear you. Because they always say money talks. You know, people can give, you see people say, I give wisdom, but are you really giving wisdom? Sometimes a person can say, well, you know, I'm worth this amount of money, but they don't show you how to get the steps to get to success. Or I got a business. They don't show you, well, this is how you get an LLC. Go to this website. You need to get this particular license. You need to have a mission statement. You need to build your website. You need to buy your domain. You need to be able to know how to negotiate. You need to know how to, you know, to customer service, those type of things. In the mentorship program, when you guys are impacting young people, is there like a workshop, or what are some people, what do the people go through? Like if a parent say, like, listen, I got a young team in the high school sector today, they do not talk about finance is not really talked about. You don't really get to talk about how to open up a checking account, how to open up a savings account, how to buy a house, how to file your taxes, how to do things in regards to, say, I want to start a business. Entrepreneurship is not talked about in high school. You may get economics class, but it's not really fully in depth of what you need. So how are you guys making a difference and bridging the gap of today's society? Who wants to go?
Go
Well,
ahead,
I guess,
Colin, take it over.
yeah, I'll jump in. Obviously, we're new to this as a team, so I won't speak for anyone individually. I'll just talk about myself. But, you know, for me, you know, the next generation, to be honest, I struggle with sometimes, because I feel like, you know, they're the what about me? Where's my piece kind of thing. And, you know, our generation was, well, we're just going to work 6 jobs and make it happen. Right. So it's getting that mentality through to everybody. You know, when I deal with nephews, nieces, you know, friends, kids and stuff like that, I'm actually a commissioner in my town. So, you know, I get to interact with a lot of folks, you know, in this area. And I've had a lot of young people come to me and say, why did you do that? You know, why did you run? You know, why did you put yourself out there? And I think what it comes down to is anybody that has knowledge and has been successful, or even not so successful, but just learned a few things, I think it's important that we impart that knowledge, you know, down the line. But then it really comes down to, are they willing to listen? You know, you asked the question, what makes them listen? I don't know if there's any secret sauce to get them to listen. You can say it. You know, I'm sure my folks told me things 100 times, and, you know, before I figured it out. So, you know, failure is part of the win, right? Nobody ever just did it right the first time and made it work. So, you know, for me, I think it's about just letting the next generation know you at least got to try. You at least got to put it out there. And it's okay to fail. You learn from your mistakes. You know, every famous person before us tells you they failed 100 times. I think Edison made 100 light bulbs before the right one, you know, worked. So some of this is cliche. Some of this is old school. I think back to basics is probably the right answer in a lot of these scenarios. Is, you know, just get them to understand none of it's going to be easy, and none of it's going to be free. So just got to do your part.
I got it. What I heard someone say, something, his name was Robert Kiyosaki, said this. He said, if, for instance, if you're going to work for somebody, if you're going to go to somebody, say, for instance, I was with you, Mr. Colin, any one of y'all, and I said, I want to do this. I would never say, pay me, because if you pay me, then my mentality is going to be, for instance, thinking like an actual employee. An employer means that my mentality is, I'm going to get every information I get to for you, and I'm going to come and I'm going to write it down. I'm going to get all that information. And then I'm going to learn how to get the hard stuff. Like if I hate reading, which I'm a big component of it. I don't like reading, but I got to read. But if I can master the things that I'm bad at, and the stuff that I'm really good at, then I can make a difference. And I just believe just watching y'all, because remember, you're in medical sales. That's $1 billion industry. Medical sales people, for those who think I'm just joking, that's about a $70,000 minimum. You can make over 100+ grand. And, you know, you got the cure for cancer. And cancer was a cure, and your company is selling it. Guaranteed, it got calls, and people like Mr. Colin is flowing from left all across the nation, talking to doctors. Hey, slide this in. Hey, I got you. Hey, we're going to make this happen from there. And I believe that you all have a big role to play. So it's good that you all are making that difference in that aspect. Now, now with you, Mr. Colin, a lot of things, sales that deals with, the long game. The question I got for, which is, I think that we need to dive into, is when some of these young people don't want to go to college. When college is not like, that ain't my thing. I don't like college. You mentioned the grind. So we talk about, we have some military veterans here. We got some who own businesses. We got some who said, I'm doing these type of things in life. So what point do you tell the young person, I guess, time? I guess that's one thing we don't really talk about. It's a process to get to where you guys are.
Mhm.
QC Silverfox, that is me personally, I'm telling you right now, to get a full grade beer for some of y'all takes time. I'm going to be straightforward with you. It didn't happen overnight. If it does happen early in the game, in your 20s or teens, we all say you got early wisdom. Now, if you got it a lot early in the game, say you've been through a lot. If you got it real early in the game, you say, hey, nothing wrong with it. It's just you just caught it early. You just got to know how to make it work. But where's, like, in the conversation of time, is that ever crossed some of y'all conversation with some of these young people? Like, hey, it's going to take time to get to where I am. For you to look like Mr. Riley, for you to say you own like 10 plus different locations, how long did it take you to get to that point?
It took me a while, but I had to really learn patience. I had to learn patience and understand everything don't happen when I want it to happen. For instance, I was always told that things happen differently from how you may want it to happen. And I didn't understand it until I was like in my 30s, really, because that's when I started really growing and living, understanding right from wrong and stuff like that. But just to go back a little bit to the children and the youth, and for me, it starts in the home. Conversations, having them ask questions, learning, reading. If you're not understanding something, please ask. Showing them a difference than what what they like. And for the ones that's like to say that's not my children, I try to reach them by talking to them about what do you like, seeing what brings the light on in them, and trying to change it a little bit to showing them something different besides what they're used to doing.
Okay, understandable. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I think a lot of us got to understand, y'all all look like y'all some great fathers. Just saying for myself. I'm not just saying tooting horns, but you can tell that y'all are really involved. And involved fathers, that's a totally different ball game. And I'm not just saying this to I'm not just saying it to make it cliche, but it's different. Mr. Craig, for you,
Yes, sir.
you became a barber. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna chime in with because college isn't for everybody, and I was one of those person where college wasn't for me, but I also didn't like taking orders from other people. So I think finding something that you like to do, you know what I mean, something that you would do for free that you wouldn't get paid for. I think they call that passion. So I've always had a passion for hair, cutting hair. As a kid, I watched my uncle and a cousin, man, they cut everybody's hair in the neighborhood. I'm talking about people would come see them, but they was never licensed. So I took interest in cutting hair at a young age. And so I used to work warehouse. I had a back surgery like 21 years old. That's how I got into cutting hair. I went to barber school from there, learned the games of the trade, and man, it's just been on ever since. Best thing I could have done. So the only thing I wish I would have done it straight out of high school, man. That's it. Because that college thing isn't for everybody, man. Neither is taking orders. That's why I couldn't do the military, you know. So, so I had to find something that was gonna work for me, man.
I got you. I got you. And for those that are listening right now, we understand college not for everybody, but through time, you're gonna need some type of actual classes to help you get to your dream.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times we don't understand a person who has an entrepreneur mindset. You may not go to college to get a degree, but you say, well, man, I'm tired of paying money for this to get done. I'm gonna take a class in this so I can learn how to make this happen. So I'm not kicking out money for this. That's the problem that we run into a lot. A lot of people don't say, well, yeah, well, a barber, you know, you can let me know if I'm wrong or right. A barber is a cash app, Square. It's an actual transaction type of business. So from a government standard, when you got to pay your federal, your taxes. What I learned is I learned from a pastor. He said, if you are a barber, you need to deposit your money in once a week, maybe on a Friday or so, into the bank. Let the bank know you got some streams of revenue coming in. Then you need to take an actual percentage of your money and just put it away in another account. Then when it's time to pay Uncle Sam, you write him one check, boom, and then you're writing off everything. If I had to buy supplies, if I had to, give a customer a free haircut, you are an entrepreneur, so you're line out of line item, doing all these type of things to make yourself great. And that's something I tell people. If you're gonna be a barber, that is a $1 billion industry. Hair products, if you're in the ladies, nails, you make a ton of money. So I just want to let people know, yes, if you want to go to barber school, now getting your license is where the real money is. Because once you have your license, it changes. So tell us, how's that license process? How many hours of cutting you had to do before you can go to the license?
In South Carolina, you gotta have 1,500 hours. In North Carolina, they just add an extra 28. After you complete the hours of schooling, you have to take 2 tests, a practical and a written. And you pass those 2 tests and you're licensed. From there, you have to, it's 125 every 2 years to keep your license in working order. But besides that, man, I think the biggest thing with me was trial and error. Nobody wanted to tell me like the ins and outs or the business part of it. So you had to figure out the taxes and everything on your own. Because I don't know, for some reason, man, in our community, we don't want to help each other the way we're supposed to. And I think that's the difference in me, man. I want to see everybody successful, especially those young kids that's coming out of school. They make it seem like college and everything else you have to do to be successful. You just got to find a trade you like and work it, man. Find out the ins and outs, the business part, and that's it.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you again for sharing. I really appreciate you. All right, Mr. Brooks.
Yes,
So I want to basically ask him to unmute himself, so we can get him on. You did.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You did.
Okay.
10 years in the military.
Correct.
So what are you doing now to sort of in making yourself better? Because as we know, for us military veterans, you're an officer, you do 10 years, that's the automatic retirement. After 10 years, you're good. Enlisted, you got to do a minimum of 20. If you got a medical discharge and, government paying you disability, so on and so forth. So what are you doing now after 10 years of giving the government your time? Now, what are you doing with your time? How are you becoming successful?
Well, I like to, I'm actually very blessed to be in a situation where I have I'm afforded a lot of, what you might call, they are luxuries. And I'm a huge sports fan. So I like to take young men and young girls, if I can. I mainly focus on the young men to some of these sporting events with me and just show them some of the behind the scenes type things. I'm actually here at a basketball camp right now. So if I seem a little distracted, I'm looking around a lot, that's what's going on. But and just the few minutes I can have with them, just to talk and hear what they have to say as far as young men, how they feel, and ask them, is everything okay, or how are things at home or whatnot, and things of that nature.
Okay.
And I guess just kind of be that sounding board as well,
Got it. So you're a coach.
Of sorts, yes.
I got you. So, for instance, being a sounding board, how is important in that? Because you hear a lot of times, you hear this for a young person, man, you going through, man, you too young for that. You like, why are you worried about, why are you stressing? You 15. Why are you stressing? You 14. Or why are you stressing? You 16, you 17. Or, you too young to hear this. It's too much. Or like you hear people say, well, get out of my face. You're too young for all that. Why is it good to be a sounding board?
Well, experience is the best teacher, and most young kids, they obviously they don't have the experience. They haven't everything and every day is pretty much new to them. So, if there's any experience or any way that I can help someone or just listen, I found that listening is a huge tool, just to be a good listener at times. It's not all about me, and I did this, I did that. Sometimes just to be there and just to be a good ear, a good shoulder, just to lean on, can help someone out far more than we realize.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate that for being a sounding board, and I want you to be the sounding board for your community. Now, Mr. Cliff, Mr.
Yes,
Superman, Supaman Company himself, that man's flying. What made you think supplements are good? Because you hear supplements in so many different ways. Some guys not really to admit some supplements may be good for the body, for endurance, health-wise. You hear certain things. What is it that made you say, I want to get into the game of that realm and put myself in such a place that we need this, or it's something that, hey, I feel is a need?
Well, I think the major factor was health-wise, because everybody that's having a problem sexual-wise or whatever is not erectile dysfunction. And, they sell it to us in our communities where you're taking a hammer when you might just need a needle to fix it. So, a lot of times just understanding the full extent of how sexuality affects our families and having something natural. And, as we know, you can't be out here this long doing what I'm doing because, in our community, we will take you down. You will hear that. Don't worry about that. If it's not working, you will be taken down. And the fact that I have something out here that accentuates who you are, because, it's libido, and understanding the major factors. Hey, if your sex life isn't right, you're driving down the highway, that's all you're thinking about. You're watching a game, that's what you're thinking about. And that's humanity itself. Because, as I always say, God touches all of us sooner or later. I don't care what color you are, he's going to tap you on the shoulder. And having a product that I can promote within the community. And one thing I always try to make the factor is, hey, we always have to support our communities. Because a saying I have is, Cheng Mao and Patel will sell you everything, but they will buy nothing from you. And that's really where I'm trying to stay at, is make sure we have a product that fits our community itself.
Amen. And for those that are listening to us right now, this is for the grown. It's a grown situation. There are people that are going through some tough times. And then, in your marriage, for instance, everybody wants to be loved, and everyone wants to have that sense of intimacy. Because like I said, I be lying to anybody. Any married man wants to be with their spouse, with their wife, the rest of their lives. Nobody said they want to be a vegetable for the rest of their life. No one said I can't have that sense of intimacy. Not just communication is huge, but the intimacy in the bedroom is something that you want to be with your wife. Speaking of ones that want to be that are married, not the ones that you say you want to be fornicating the rest of your life. Because you mess around the wrong girl, you're gonna catch something. So I'm letting you know right now that for the ones who are married that want to say, hey, some things are not working, but also you have Mr. Rich, who say who has other things. You got two men that's going in different realms that, you know, hey, if one don't work for the other one does not work. So I appreciate you sharing that big thing, your company with us, and sharing what you have. All right, gentlemen, biggest question, and get to the point. Why will this work? And where do you guys see this going? Because there are groups that's going to help, that's designed to help young people or gentlemen. But why do you believe that this particular group, this band of brothers, will make a difference and not only help the young people, but young men become the man that God has them to be? Who wants to answer that question?
For me, I believe in everybody that's on this panel with us. My brothers, I believe in every last one of them. And I believe they honestly believe in helping everybody else around them to be better in life. Just by sitting here listening to them, I learned some things today. And I want to continue to grow from every last one of them, you know. And I do know that will happen. I know it's going to grow nationwide, and I believe it.
All right. Okay, got nationwide on him. I got it. He been listening. He been watching my show too long. Say nationwide, worldwide. See how it is. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for the plug.
We nationwide. Calvin, are we nationwide right now?
Nationwide, worldwide. That's listen. I've been telling you again, Mr. Rich, the Logan Power Show. For those that are watching, we have been seen across about maybe 3 continents now. I think the furthest customer I ever had was in Australia. Guy had saw us and said, I wanted to be on the Logan Power Show. Shocked my mind. I've had places all in from the Middle East, Europe, places in the continent of Africa. We've done North America. We've done South America. People have watched us across the globe. We're trying to hit all 7. I ain't got nobody in Antarctica yet, so I'm not gonna lie to nobody. I got you know, I've touched about 6 or 5. But we have done some great things. But for you, Mr. Rich, since you want to chime in, why do you believe this is gonna work?
Oh yeah, God knows I know about this. See, I know what's going on. Let me tell you something. They can have us to come to the events, to their schools. We are valid. You hear me? I mean, we already, which I've just learned a couple of hours ago. We got some a store that's wanting to use us for to model in their clothes. I already heard that Dorico got a game show that he's getting ready to do. Dorico, I know what's going on, Dorico. You know what I'm saying? You know, Riley and Colin and Carlos and Brother Cliff already know what we got set up. So QC Silverfox is really standing up. I can't wait for the release of our debut at we just did a show last Saturday. It was at this it was a hair show, and it was awesome. It was awesome, and they got a lot of feedback. We got people that's requesting for us to appear in certain places, to pop up, just to show up for being around the young ones and just share a few inspirational words. And I don't know, I'll probably get in trouble with this later after I get off there, but I hear the ladies are going crazy right now too.
Listen, I tell you all the time, listen now. For all those that are watching right now, this is not a you want to get attracted to somebody on this show. Listen, I'm just designed to say these are the gentlemen that are going there. They're coming to help your kids. I repeat, they come to help your kids. I'm not.
We're already taken. Exactly. Can't have us.
We are taken. I think it's probably like only one of us is not taken. Maybe 2. I can speak for the rest of them.
I know speak for yourself, guys. Speak for yourself, guys. Speak for yourself, guys.
For all the people that are watching right now, I want you to stay healthy. Stay like I said, because listen, I'm not getting in trouble. Talking about I won the Logan Power Show, and I saw gentlemen, and I said the Quicksilver Fox, and the Quicksilver Fox got no. Listen, This ain't no, listen, this is not,
Nah,
not,
this is QC Silverfox.
like I said, yeah, that's QC for Silverfox. We're not here to get, it's not no cheap seats. This ain't Chippendales. They ain't trying to do nothing like that. All they trying to do is help your youth. That's it. So
motivational mentor. No. And I gotta tell you one thing, because someone said this. My brother, we was talking yesterday, and he said, "What do you got, strippers?" I said, "No way, we ain't no strippers."
No, nothing like that.
Nothing like that.
No.
We're about some real positivity that's gonna help our community and our children, and also we like to keep our heads up so we can enjoy our lives and keep loving ourselves, so we can show people that you too should be loving yourself and love your life.
Amen. Amen. So for those that are watching, the information is available to you. I want you to say, for instance, hey, you're going to get in contact with them. You want to basically to flood their lives. I want you to be able to understand that mentorship is needed. I look at it this. I'm gonna look at this as we close. You got to ask yourself on a daily basis what you're going to need. As a youth growing up, you know, we'll talk about from our childhood. I'm going to give it in 3 parts. In our childhood, you have a teacher, right? That teacher is there. But before that teacher, their first teacher is their parent. That's their mom and dad to show them the actual ins and outs. From the age when they're first born to about 4 or 5, they have built a foundation what the parent has taught them exactly what to eat, what to drink, how to move, how to flow. And they are mimicking and they are watching what their parent does. They will then take that conversation into the actual arena of we call early education. That's your preschool, your kindergarten. Now I'm in the stages of my life where now I'm going to identify who I am. If you are born a male, you're going to, you know, if your parent has told you you are a male, you're dressed up as a male, then I'm going to identify you. If you see another boy, that you are a boy as well. Don't get it twisted. So I'm just helping those out. Same thing with the females. So that foundation said, when you get into school, what you've learned at home is going to reflect in school. Well, this is my belief system. This is what I believe. This is what I've been taught. They're going to give you then their doctrine of education. That doctrine of education from the kindergarten through 5th grade, you got to basically, as a parent, say, okay, this is my child's received. Elevate what they are and do exactly what needs to be done. Then we go into middle school. Middle school is another form of identifying. Remember, they haven't hit the hormones yet. They may hit it 7th, 8th grade. We don't know. May get 6th grade. That's another form of change. Then you got to understand this. That's when you got to put some extra foundation. Then they come to high school, where some may think I've arrived. You have not arrived when you're a freshman in high school. That 9th through 12th grade, you still ain't arrived yet because you're still learning who you are. And then you're then expounding off those foundations you learned from kindergarten to 8th grade into the high school sector. Once you have graduated from high school, you are not, I repeat, you are not there yet because you're still, now you're pushed out to the real world. Either you are going to the workforce on day 1, or you're going into some form of education of going to college, or I'm going to the military, I'm going to start my own business, or whatever you're trying to do. And you still have not found your way. You may not find your way to your 30. You may not find your way to your 40 years old. So understand this. If you want to bring these men in, they've experienced life. I've learned this a long time ago. You always hear some of your grandparents and your parents say, well, son, live long enough and you're going to learn something. If you live long enough, you're going to learn something. I'm going to teach you something. I'm going to teach you what it's going to take to be that person. So in this day of age, we need our young boys, our young teen boys, our young men to know what it's like to be a man. And these are men that identify as a man and that are a man. They ain't changed nothing. They are a man. So if you have a young child that needs a village, throw the village in there. This is a village. It's going to take a village. But I promise you this. If you got that village, hold that village accountable. If I put my precious jewel in your village, protect my village, protect my jewel like it's your own. And all I'm hearing from these men is that they're protecting your village. They're protecting your jewel. If you got a young lady, a young girl who wants to be mentored. I'll be honest with you. Young girls got to know what a man look like. They may not got it at home. Got to see what a man look like. I don't know what a man look like. Hey, listen, you gonna bring a joker home. You wonder why you got chaos? Because you bring a joker home. But having a mentor, just men or women, a young man can say, you know what, hey, this is my idea, this kind of girl I like. It's like, son, I've been there. That ain't the one. Or the young lady can say, what's what I like? The man can say, that was me back in the day. You better leave that one alone. You got to wait a little bit. Let him grow a little gray hair before you say, I do. Don't walk some of the traps. So I want you all to take for your mind from this particular broadcast to understand that this is just an informational session that these men shared their heart. And from this point, I want our lives to never be the same. That's all the time I got. My name is Calvin of the Logan Power Show. Nationwide, worldwide. When we make a difference, we love you. We'll see you soon.
It's the Logan Power Show. Inspirational and motivational. It's the Logan Power Show. Informational to help you grow. Logan Power Show.